It'd be wild if the Republicans lost
Dan
Nebraska.
Osborne made national
I don't know why everything I'm seeing right now is on fucking goddamn MS Now. I don't want to be too MS Now pilled.
waves in 2024 with a much closer than expected challenge to incumbent Republican Senator Deb Fischer in deep red Nebraska. Osborne
I do want I think Katie Porter would be a great governor for California.
delivered the single biggest Senate overperformance compared to the top
God damn, 6'7"? 6'7".
of the ticket anywhere in the country, outperforming former Vice President Kamala Harris by roughly 14 points. Now, Osborne is back for another run. This time, he's taking on Republican Senator Pete Ricketts, betting that growing frustration with the White House could make Nebraska even more competitive this time.
Dude, if Nebraska goes blue, holy shit. Holy shit. I think Iowa's going to go blue, but if Nebraska goes blue,
Time around. So joining us is independent candidate for Nebraska's U.S. Senate seat, Dan Osborne.
independent, he'd be blue.
Dan, thank you very much for coming to the weekend. This frustration with the administration. Let me play something. Sorry, growing frustration. Let me play something that Kevin Hassett said on Wednesday about credit cards. We'll talk about it on the other side.
The consumer is really fired.
Yeah, dude, credit cards are, if you have a credit card, try not to use it. Pay that shit off ASAP, man. It is a dangerous time right now to have a credit card.
On all cylinders, just like the corporate sector you're seeing in the earnings reports. And they're doing that because they have so much more money in their pockets.
I need to hear that again.
The consumer is really firing on all cylinders, just like the corporate sector you're seeing in the earnings reports. And they're doing that because they have so much more money.
They're spending money on their credit cards more because they have more money to spend. Motherfucker, you use a credit card because you have no money to spend.
In their pockets. Credit card spending is through the roof. They're spending more on gasoline, but they're spending more on everything else, too.
Now, Dan, as you know, Kevin Hassett is the head of the National Economic Council. Do Nebraskans view spending much more than they have ever spent on credit cards is a sign of their economic health?
Yeah, well, I suppose that directly relates into it. You know, I was just at the gas pump the other day, and for the first time in a long time, I had to stop the pump short because I realized my mortgage was coming out. And that's the way people are living right now. You know, it's definitely a struggle. Bad tariff policy and bad foreign policy is playing out in real time with a lot of us, and it's hurting our pocketbooks. And I know my opponent, like Pete Ricketts, who's rubber stamping all of this, I don't think he probably doesn't even drive his own car, let alone pump his own gas. So he's definitely disassociated from the majority of our reality.
Mr. Osborne, you raised more money than Pete Ricketts in the Q1, I think. The polls have you quite tight. We have this flat water free press here talking about the Democrat, because you're running as an independent. Trump voting Nebraska pastor is running for Senate as a Democrat. He insists it's in good faith. Forbes voted for Trump each time he was on the ballot and posted a photo of Ricketts speaking at a Right to Life.
And for those who don't know, but Dan Osborne wants abortions to be, he's personally pro-life, but opposes national measures to ban abortion. Should be between a woman and her doctor, and it's about protecting individual freedoms. Go after corporate greed. Use public funding for private or nonprofit schools? No. Loosen or tighten environmental regulations? Tighten them. Gun regulations? He wants more gun regulations. He says healthcare decisions should be made by insurance companies, and he dislikes insurance companies, so that's pretty woke. Supports without borders, you don't have a country. We have to be able to fund border security or border. Then you can work on immigration reforms in terms of clear path to citizenship. So we're not a huge fan of that. He wants it easier for unions to organize. He wants to expand. I oppose discrimination for any reason. He supports gay marriage. Think people's private lives are no business but their own. Yeah, he's legalized cannabis. He is, dude. He is he is the average independent. He's just an independent guy.
life rally in Lincoln in a since deleted Facebook post. The Democrats will obviously pick a candidate in their primary.
I don't.
There is a risk, though, that you both.
I don't enjoy the fan or the narratives. I still don't appreciate the narrative for framing things like, oh, they're a veteran, they are automatically qualified for U.S. government.
Both split the anti-Ricketts vote. When you look at where the polls are, how
And this guy versus fucking what's his name from California, you can tell the interview difference because they're like gonna ask him hard questions, but he's not losing his shit over
what
it.
voters are saying that there is a Democrat in the race. Do you have concerns about splitting the Ricketts vote when I know that you think
God, their nails look great.
he shouldn't have the job?
I say they because I don't know their gender or their pronouns.
Yeah, I think ultimately this is Ricketts playing dirty pool. This is all about them. They're absolutely scared right now that the workers of the world, the wage earners of the world, are uniting around a common cause, and that the common cause is less than 2% of our elected officials in both the House and Senate come from the working class. So it's a country club, and
I do like his garage. I'm gonna say I do like his garage setup. The Navy and stuff. Also, guys in the Navy are so much cooler than like guys in the Army, in my experience. But like, these are some good shells. Oh, dude, is he using Milwaukee? Yeah, this guy knows what's up. If he's using Milwaukee, or that could be Craftsman, I use both those tools.
they don't want people like me in their country club, and this is another example of them just putting in a plant in the Democratic primary. So
He's not wrong. They did the same thing in Maine.
this is again just playing dirty pool. But if you want to help my race out, we've raised, like you mentioned, we're fundraising. We're over $4 million now. We have.
God, that's so cool to see. I love fundraising for politicians that aren't like coming from the top class, that are coming from like actual people.
Almost 50,000 donors from all 50 states. So this campaign truly is powered by the people. That's how we're organizing it. And if you want to help, go to osborneforsenate.com and help a guy out.
He's so sweet, man. Dude, I'm gonna definitely. I feel like I'm very tedious on saying this, but I feel like I'm gonna regret my words about this guy because somebody else is gonna be like, "Oh, here's the horrible, awful thing you did." But
Mr.
I'm
Osborne,
hoping for
I
him.
want to ask you. We've talked a lot about skyrocketing gas prices, but something that has also been increasing is the increasing cost of fertilizer, which
That's a big thing
probably
for Nebraska.
disproportionately impacts your potential constituents more than others. Have you had any conversations with farmers, prospective voters, about what these high fertilizer prices mean and what they're doing to the local economy?
Yeah, I talk to farmers every day. I was just out at a farm. The farmer was getting out of his John Deere to come talk to me. He farms 1,900 acres, and his inputs
Sheesh, that's huge.
are skyrocketing. Just fertilizer alone for his 1,900 acres, he told me he's paying $50,000 more than he would have pre-war. So this is playing out in real time. Farmers are getting screwed yet again. Pete Ricketts is rubbing.
But they also are the most government subsidized portion. Like, this is a true belief I have. As somebody who grew up in the Midwest, loves farmers, have worked on farms before, I've worked in agriculture many times in my life. Farms should be owned by the government. If you work them, you should live like a king. Farmers, and I'm not talking about like people, rich assholes who work in IT and then go buy land out in the country because they are afraid of black people. I'm talking about like genuine farmers who work acres of fields like this guy right here. He probably voted for Trump and he probably owns his own land, but he's probably getting fucked over. And the government subsidizes the shit out of it, and they should stop. Because if the government owned them and you just got paid a really good wage, because like, you're literally providing food for the entire country, we would never have these issues with farmers. We would never have these issues.
Rubber stamping this and saying, "Hey, I'm for the farmers." But you know what? You can tell a farmer it's sunny outside, but when he steps out, it's raining. They're going to stop believing your lies.
Mr. Osborne, I'm wondering, what are you hearing on the campaign trail from Nebraskans about the war?
Like, they should own land, like their own house and stuff, but they should not own their farm fields. Like, the government should own all that.
They with the president and with the administration, or are they expressing frustration that it seems as though the administration is focused overseas and not on them?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I served in the Navy. I went through the Strait of Hormuz twice myself on 2 Western Pacific deployments. And so my heart always goes out to the men and women serving in uniform. But, as far as we could argue all day long till we're blue in the face on whether we should be there, I think we all understand that Iran shouldn't have a nuclear weapon. But what's playing out in real time is we're paying the cost. We're paying the cost for it right now. Our farmers are getting screwed. We're getting screwed at the pumps. Grocery prices continue to rise. My paycheck stays the same. While rent and everything else is going up. So this is definitely problematic for us right now. The ones who are flipping.
I like his little lights. His little lights.
War.
If someone wasn't comfortable in their masculinity, they would not have these lights, and it's kind of a good sign to me. Like, I look for little details like that.
Osborne, if you were to win and became a senator, you would be one of the people who would have to say, and constitutionally supposed to say, whether or not we're supposed to be in Iran. Do you believe that this is a just war that the United States should be engaged in?
I'm not a political pundit. I don't have all the information in front of me. At face value, no, it doesn't seem like it. But again, I'm not there. I'm not involved. Again, my
good response.
I was enlisted, and my thoughts and prayers always go out to the families of service members and the service
members. Not a terrible response. Not a response that I would like to see, but not a terrible one either.
And there's going to be a lot of people.
He literally just basically said, like, "Oh, I just want to have more information in front of me, and then I'll make my decision."
People coming back that are going to need the VA to be funded.
I do like the fact that he wants to fund the VA. Out of everything, I don't want to treat like being in the military as like an automatic like check off. But a lot of veterans who are served in the military do not want to fund the VA. And once they do want to fund the VA, that's usually a good sign about where their priorities lie.
And they're gonna need help. So that's what when I get in the U.S. Senate, that's what I want to provide for our men and women in uniform.
And Osborne, thank you so much for your time this morning.
That was good. I don't know if I'd put my cards behind him right now. I'd have to look more into him. I do appreciate his rationality and the way he speaks. I do appreciate it. Dan Osborne, political or politics. U.S. Navy veteran, industrial mechanic, former labor union leader. Yeah, dude, this guy's a good guy. Yeah, I would say this guy's probably a pretty solid man to put your cards behind. I doubt the Democrats have anybody to support that's like a genuinely like a good person in the Senate in Nebraska. I did want to take a look at this because this also plays into the whole midterms thing.
Funny here is that the Democrats are now suing the Republican states, citing, it's gerrymandering. They can't sue under the Voting Rights Act anymore, thanks to the Supreme Court for overturning that one.
Yeah, Republicans did it first, dipshit. I think that today, after her political section, Emmy should play a linear story game. That's just my opinion. Maybe, Dan.
They're now saying this is like partisan gerrymandering. This is bananas.
Motherfuckers, you guys did it first!
I say go ahead and sue. Here's what's going to happen. Because of the multitude of the number of states that are involved in this, it will have judicial prudence to go to the Supreme Court very, very quickly, which no matter how they decide, this is like the best win for Republicans. Let me explain both scenarios here. This is actually...
Oh my God, this is literally set up like at ESPN. Holy shit, this, like, I guarantee the motherfucking, like, jock dipshit morons who jerk off with their buddies in frat houses love this guy.
Amazing. See, Democrats have been doing all kinds of cattywampus gerrymandering for decades, like what they tried to do in VA. They're pretty much already maxed out on their...
Republicans have been doing it much more aggressively, and I think Democrats need to do it far more aggressively than they're doing it right now.
To do any more, but Republicans haven't. So if the libs want to sue and cry, Republicans are gerrymandering, and let's say on some weird happenstance that the Supreme Court agrees with them and strikes down Republican gerrymandering, say in Florida where they just redistricted things and picked up another 4 Republican seats. Like best case scenario, maybe in a stretch the court might find like one of the new Florida districts to be unfair. But then, and this is where it gets fun, it just takes one Republican with a pair to say, okay, Now let's apply the same standard to every Democrat state. Let's start with their Death Star, liberals' home base, California, that has gerrymandered nearly 20 seats around every major liberal city. We'll pick Los
None of these would go right anyways.
Angeles. Just a few. I mean, look at this one. Look, if Florida was theoretically ever struck down, then all these would likely have to change too, because it looks like a drunk 5-year-old's finger painting. Republicans pick up 3, 5, 7.
God, this guy, I'm not listening to this guy. This guy's a fucking moron. Holy shit, the way he speaks pisses me off. No, I mean, like, we see the difference between, like, stupid, dumbass motherfuckers and the average fucking American in between these two people. That guy's never had to worry about his life once, or worry about his paycheck once in his entire fucking life, and you can obviously fucking tell. Oh, God, I fucking hate people. Well, I don't hate people. I love people. But I hate that motherfucker. Hate that motherfucker a lot.